Right, we are now joined by Derek Engelbrecht, Retail and Consumer Products Sector Leader at Professional Services Form EY. The company has just released its festive season retail survey. Derek, thank you very much for joining us. A pleasure having you here with us. Take us through some of the findings of EY's festive season retail survey.
I think on the brighter side, growth in volumes slightly accelerating in this quarter, 2014, relative to the same quarter in 2013. I think we've had one or two strategic events that have led up to this particular forecast. One is the end of the protracted strike that we had in the end of first part of the third quarter this year. And then we've also seen one or two successive drops in the fuel price, which I think will put some cash in the man in the street's back pocket.
Right, our festive season is always a tricky one. I mean, a lot of consumers are already over indebted, and then comes December and things get worse. So how can the average consumer really still enjoy this holiday season without spending too much?
I think the retailers obviously trying their best to encourage exactly the opposite behavior. Right. I think the astute consumer would ensure that they do a bit of homework up front. There's no doubt that you'll find retailers that are pulling out the stops, either enhancing the product or service that you're buying, maybe doing a great deal for a limited period of time. So I think the consumer that is bent on making it special for loved ones should probably just do a bit of research, hang back, and when you seize the opportunity when it arrives.
Now, I mean, what are some of the products and services that consumers usually spend on at this time, or is there no specific thing really, and just a case of just spending as and when?
I think the three broad categories of the retail sector being the non-durables, so these would be the goods that you and I would buy, food, beverage, on a weekly or daily basis. They'll definitely benefit from having the extra cash in the back pocket. The semi-durables, which tend to be the clothing, footwear, apparel, they have reported a deceleration in volume growth since the second quarter of this year. So they a little bit on the back foot insofar as the forecast is concerned. And then I think the durable goods sector, so this would be the furniture, the appliances, all of the big things in your house, they've obviously come off a very low base. This particular part of the economy has been under threat for 2 or 3 years, and their volumes are slowly looking positive. So I think if you ask the consumer, probably prefer to spend money on services which make you feel good in the moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see a disproportionate part of spending going on entertainment activities and maybe just taking the family for a well-earned dinner or a lunch somewhere.
Now, you mentioned the fact that consumers should try and scale back, but just generally, what is the biggest saving tip that you have though for consumers over the festive season?
I think anecdotally, there's probably quite a bit of truth in not going grocery shopping when you're hungry. So I would suspect that the biggest saving tip is to try and figure out how you can not in the moment be sidetracked with what you perceive to be a great deal. Back to maybe the earlier point of just really thinking about it rationally, and then also thinking how you would feel in 6 weeks from now when you just can't get to the end of January. I think those two tips is probably a bit of a behavioral norm more than anything else. But I don't think there's any one other tip that would necessarily make you spend more responsibly.
And what's EY's interest really in sort of putting together this finding, really regarding festive season a retail survey? Why would EY do that?
I think there's two reasons. One is that this is in a collaborative partnership with the Bureau of Economic Research at Stellenbosch. So we have an academic department with lots of economists that do research and help us to really put this into perspective. I think the other big reason, of course, is that when we talk to people in the retail and the consumer products industry, it's very important that we understand the behavior of the end user. In that particular way, we are able to articulate what we think are themes and trends that play out not only in emerging markets such as South Africa, but also in the wider world, from an African continent perspective, and in that particular way become more and more relevant as we help people find answers to questions that they haven't even asked yet.
All right, thank you very much. Interesting indeed, Derek Engelbrecht. We do appreciate those tips and for letting us know what to expect this festive season. Thank you very much.